Okay, the next instalment of Cell 7 takes place in a TV studio, and it's more like set out like a play when it's in the TV studio. 6:30 p.m. The programme Death is Justice is beginning. On a dark blue screen, flecks of white buzz and crackle like electricity. An oversized eye with an ice blue iris appears in the middle. It blinks, and the words "an eye for an eye for" spin in a circle around the black pupil. Male voiceover. An Eye for an Eye Productions brings you. The words stop spinning. The sounds of electricity fizzes again, and the style of the words goes from smooth to jagged. The eye reddens and closes. Male voiceover. Tonight's show, Death is Justice, with our host. The blue fades and lights come up on a glitzy studio. The large floor reflects the many studio lights from its silver blue surface. To the right is an oversized screen filled with the eye logo. The words slowly spinning and the eye blinking, while left of the centre is a shiny curved desk with high glossy stools placed around the back and sides facing out to the studio audience, who are hidden in the shadow. Male voiceover. Christina Albright. Lights come up on Christina standing on the left of the stage. She's tall and slim. Her blonde hair frames her perfect face, and her white teeth smile into camera. Her red dress is tight and matches her lipstick and shoes. Hello and welcome to Death is Justice. Applause sounds from around the studio. Christina smiles and nods at the audience. Christina. My name's Christina Albright, and tonight we have some very exciting news for you. Christina's high heels click as she strolls across the floor to the screen on the right. The eye is replaced by a photograph of a handsome smiling man with a pretty wife and teenage son. Breaking news last night brought us the shocking story of the violent murder of multimillionaire celebrity Jackson Paige. The photograph changes to one of the man with his arms in the air in triumph while a crowd of people applauds. Christina. Jackson won a place in the hearts of millions after a string of appearances on reality TV shows over the last decade. Originally from the deprived area known as the High Rises, named after the row of tower blocks built to solve the housing crisis, the screen fills with a panoramic of the high-rise area. A dozen concrete towers stretching into a dull sky. A skinny stray dog, empty takeaway wrappers in dirty gutters, and a young boy smoking a cigarette, a can of beer in the other hand. Christina. He invested his winnings wisely, worked hard and took himself out of poverty and became an inspiration to all. The grey of the high-rises disappears, replaced by a large white house with big metal gates and lush green lawn stretching across its boundary. Pink, orange and yellow flowers pour from baskets and fill borders. A red sports car in the driveway shines in the sun. The smiling man, Jackson, poses next to it. With his public appearances, his unrelenting charity work, and of course, not forgetting images of Jackson flash onto the screen, him smiling at the camera at a red carpet event, and a still of him giving a speech dressed in a tuxedo, another as he passes an oversized check to a row of nurses. The selfless Christina. The selfless act of adopting a young boy after a tragic accident left him orphaned. A black and white photo comes into focus. Jackson, his forehead creased, his eyes watery, his mouth downwards, holds a crying 6-year-old boy to his chest. Behind them, the tower blocks of the rises are blurry and dull, but on the cracked pavement, just visible, is the only colour, a trickle of red. Christina presses her palms together and holds them in front of her mouth, as if in prayer. The studio is silent. She lifts her head, bats her eyelids, and looks back into camera. Christina, quietly. But more about Jackson Page later. Let's turn our attention to the crime and the perpetrator. What kind of person could commit such a terrible act? Let's go to our roving reporter, Joshua Decker. Josh? She turns to the screen. A blue banner stretches across the top, a small eye logo blinking in the left corner. The words, Joshua Decker, roving reporter, sparkling across the middle. While running perpetually along the bottom is Cell 1, Teen Killer, Martha Honeydew. In the middle, his black coat collar up against the wind, so you can see it. Leather gloves holding a microphone and his eyes twinkling and smiling despite the November cold is Joshua. Joshua. Yes, Christina, hello. I hope you can hear me against this howling wind. It sure is cold in the rises. I'm looking forward to getting home. To a hot bath and a glass of wine, I can tell you. He winks. Female voices mumble around the audience. Joshua. I'm standing about 100 metres from where the crime was committed. This, for our audience who've never been here, is close to the main rail station that leads to the city and the surrounding avenues, aptly named the Underpass. His gloved hand points above him. The camera pans away from him, showing the underside of a large bypass, dark and dank with broken railings and half-crushed boulders that were to stop motorists taking shortcuts. Beyond and out of its shadow is a smaller road, followed by a row of shops with smashed, boarded-up windows, and just visible in the distance are the rows of tower blocks with pinpricks of lights in the windows. Joshua. This side of it, away from the station, is an area frequented by drug dealers and the homeless. Christina. Tell us what's happening there, Joshua. What are people saying about our killer? The camera focuses on Joshua. Joshua. Well, Christina, thing is, they're not. Nobody's talking. For the residents of the high-rises, it's as if it never happened. Unlike the rest of the population, that is, as I'm sure you can see around me. The camera follows Joshua as he walks, panning out as he stops to see the flowers, cuddly toys, photographs, handwritten messages, and burning candles left on the ground. A woman on her knees places more flowers. Two men hug each other as they sob. Joshua. This is the site where he was gunned down. These people can barely contain their grief. There's been a steady stream of them all morning. Teenagers who've had their parents drive them here on their way to school. A couple of doctors taking a detour before surgery. Some nurses paying their respect after a night shift. Most too upset to speak, or even, if they can, unable to put their feelings of grief and shock into words, but try to ask the opinions of shopkeepers around here, young mothers taking children to school, teenage boys on street corners, people queuing for their benefits. Nobody wants to talk. Christina. Very strange. Joshua. That it is. Ranks are closed, it seems, but I hasten to add, this roving reporter has managed to get an exclusive for you. He gives a lopsided smile and tilts his head sideways. Christina, smiling to the audience. I'm not going to ask how he managed to get an exclusive, but I'm guessing it's something to do with that charm of his. The audience laugh. Joshua, with a wink. Yes, Christina, we have some video footage of the moments following the crime. I think it speaks for itself. His image flies into a frame on the left of the screen. On the right of another frame is filled with a shaky video image. Joshua. This is footage of the police headcam. It was thought initially that the alarm was raised by a CCTV, but it appears the cameras in the vicinity were broken. Footage shows half-lit streets flying towards camera, rain and windscreen obscuring all but the obvious. In the distance, the darkened shadows of the tower blocks loom as if they are gravestones in the evening sky, and around them roads follow like blackened rivers. Flashing blue from police lights reflect off wet streets and metal shutters on buildings, and sirens wail in anger. The changing of scenery slows. Headlights turn a corner and flood white into an area beneath the underpass. The car stops. Drowned in light is Martha, long dark hair, wet from the rain, and eyes wide like a rabbit's. Her hands are in the air. In one is a gun. The image wobbles as it moves out of the car. In front of it, a pair of arms are extended, hands clasped around a gun, pointing at Martha. Police officer, off screen. Drop the gun and put your hands on your head. She bends and drops the gun on the ground, shaking the camera, moves closer to her. She puts her hands on her head. The camera focuses on her face now, filling the screen. I did it! I shot him! I killed Jackson Page! On the screen in the studio, the frame on the right pauses on Martha's face, while on the left, Joshua sighs and shakes his head slowly. Christina, quietly. Thank you, Joshua. We look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. She drops her head a moment and then lifts it back to camera. Christina. Martha Honeydew may look as sweet as her name suggests, but in reality she is a cold-hearted killer who has stolen from us one of the most famous and well-loved characters of our time. She says she is. Off screen, recording Martha. I did it. I shot him. I killed Jackson Page. Christina. Her words, viewers. The gun in her hands. The word killer is stamped in red across her paused image. Still facing into the camera, Christina strolls towards the curved desk, the lights above it dimmed. Christina. An open and shut case then. She is the first female teenager on death row, and it seems she is likely to be first to be executed. After all, why would you, the voter, doubt her word? Why would you, the voter, doubt her word? Yeah. The still of Martha disappears, the screen filled instead with the eye. Christina eases onto the stool at the end of the desk, her long legs positioned neatly to her side. The lights brighten, revealing a small man on the stool to her left. His shoulders are hunched and his head is low. His hair sticks out in tufts. Christina. But before we move on to another occupant of death row, we'll turn our attention for a moment to what our celebrity killer, Martha Honeydew, will be doing right now and how she'll be feeling. She smiles at the man. Gus, welcome. His face lifts. He flicks a smile at her and his eyes dodge around the audience, twitchy. He runs a finger along the inside of his shirt collar and tugs at his jacket sleeve. 5 years ago, Christina, 5 years ago you were one of the people incarcerated for a crime. Incarcerated for a crime the public voted you not guilty of. You are ultimately experienced to tell us how she will be feeling tonight. What will be going through her mind? Gus, quietly. Well, yeah, as you said, I was accused of murdering. His low voice quivers with nerves. I'm sorry, Gus. Can you speak up? His body jutters as he takes a deep breath. Gus, slightly louder. Yeah. 5 years ago, I was accused of murdering someone, but thanks to you viewers. He turns to the camera, smiles widely but awkwardly. The audience applaud. I was let off. And how was it, Gus? Christina. And how was it, Gus? How was that first night? How will it be for our prisoner, facing the final days of her life? Gus. Well, first, just so viewers know, right, she was arrested yesterday, but being charged and put in the system, and that so wouldn't have arrested her on death row till the morning light. So like you said, today's her first day, day 1, cell 1, till sunrise, that is. At sunrise, she changed cell. And what is cell, Christina, and what is cell 1 like? He runs his finger along the inside of his collar again, now soaked with sweat. He looks down and frowns. Christina. Gus, we know this must be hard for you, and we're asking a lot, but as I'm sure you understand, it's vital for us, the voters, to have a full comprehension of the situation in order to make sure we vote correctly. I've suggested many times that video feed into the cells would provide voters with a far more complete understanding of the accused. She turns to the audience. Don't you agree? The audience cheer and clap. Christina. Gus, cell 1, tell us. Gus. Yeah, it was... He looks up and around at leering faces, sits upright, touches a hand to his right ear and takes a breath. Gus. Basic. There was a bed and a sink and a toilet. A toilet in the same room as you sleep in? He touches a hand to his ear and forces a laugh. Gus. No, there's a bathroom, that's what I meant. Not a sink either, it's a hand basin and a toilet in the bathroom and a shower. He swallows hard and takes a breath. Gus. In the cell, there's books, loads of books and TV and pictures on the walls. He wrings his hands together. Christina. Not how you'd expect a criminal to be treated, Gus. Gus, quietly. Suppose not. Christina. Sounds to me as if our Martha won't feel like she's being punished at all. Next she'll be telling me the doors are left open. Gus touches his ear, glances to the camera and back to Christina. Gus. They are. Christina leans backwards, her mouth falling open, her palms opening out. Gus. And they, the prisoners, they can talk to each other. Christina tuts audibly. Christina to camera. Let's think about that, shall we, voters? This girl has said she did it. She's admitted she gunned down a man in cold blood and watched the very life seep from him. She feebly admitted that and has shown no remorse, and she is sitting around watching television, chatting and eating. Gus, what would she be eating? Gus, muttering. Fish and chips today and sticky toffee pudding, vanilla custard. Christina. Well, justice, viewers, is in your hands as always. Let's take a look at those all-important numbers and voting information. Across the bottom of your screen now, you can see the numbers to vote for Martha. Dial 0909 879777, and to vote guilty, add 7 to the end, or to vote not guilty, add a 0. You can also vote by texting die or live to 7997. To vote online, visit our website www.aniforanIproductions.com. Click on the Martha Honeydew Teen Killer tab at the top and log your vote. Calls are charged to premium rate. Please seek bill payer's permission. Text costs £5 plus your network provider's standard fee. Voting online is also £5 after initial registration fee of £20. For full T's and C's, visit our website. A blue band with numbers and details written in silver glides across the bottom of the screen. Of course, as always, it's been fascinating speaking to you. We'll have much more. We have so much more we could discuss. Motive, broken childhood, missing father, dead mother. But we have 7 days to debate. Gus muttering. And the counsellor. Christina. Counsellor? Explain. Gus. Slow as if copying. Her counsellor is Eve Stanton. The only counsellor who's never been on this show. Never does interviews or nothing. Never comments on stuff. Christina. Excellent point, Gus. The camera focuses only on her. An exciting one, viewers. Will be leading you through over the next 7 days. Much to discuss and many stones not to be left unturned. Join us again after this message from our sponsor, Cybersecure, when we'll be looking at the last few hours of the accused, currently in cell 7. What will judgment bring to him? Life or death? And in 7 days, what will it be for our newest resident, teen killer Martha Honeydew? The lights in the studio dim. Gus rips the earpiece out and storms off set.